As most of you know, I just had the privilege of traveling to the Czech Republic, and between February 9th to the 15th, I was invited in partnership with Next Level International to do some training for some pastors there. In particular, one of the pastors that attended the training session was Jarek and his wife Janek, and she and he are planting a church in a town called Nova Jacin, which is King Street's church plant in many ways. We are supporting them. We're enabling them to do what they feel God is calling them to do. And so through the partnership of NLI, I was there for a week or so to cover two specific topics. One was stewardship, and the other was the importance of building community through small groups. And it was just an honor and a privilege to meet these incredible men and women of God who are planting churches throughout the Czech Republic. And so I wanted to give you a little bit of a report of how the trip went. It took me a while to get there. It was about 20 hours of travel, plane, bus, automobile, train. But finally, when I got to the destination, I was so warmly welcomed by these great brothers and sisters in the Lord. But I want to tell you a little bit of the region that we as a church are planting in. It is a very industrial region. It is lots of factories, and while I was there, actually, the government just announced that it is the most polluted region of Europe. And it's amazing, because here I am talking to these church planters who live there, are raising their children, and I asked, is there any ramifications to all of this pollution? And he said, well, many of our children, many people suffer with respiratory issues, and yet there is such a commitment to the people of that region because they so desperately want to see them reached for Christ, and so they're committing at all costs, including their health, to reaching that region for the sake of Christ. Our particular church planter, as I said, Jarek, he is an incredible musician. In fact, as you can see, he just developed and produced this worship CD, and it is just a magnificent piece of music, and so he's a talented musician, but more so he has a passion to reach lost people. And so at this point, he's reaching a small group of people in his living room, and his hope is to launch Sunday worship gatherings in the beginning of June. And the most encouraging thing is that we're sending a team of 5 adults out of our congregation in the month of May to go on a prayer team, and they will specifically pray through our city in hopes of preparing it, that it would be fertile ground so Jarek and his family can find favor and strength as they desire to build the church in Nova Jacin. And so I want us to do 3 things. First of all, I want you to continue to invest. When you give to missions here at King Street Church, every dollar goes to places like the Czech Republic, who are desperately wanting to build a church where there is none. I want you to also intercede. They need so much prayer, that God would guide them, lead them, direct them, continue to grant them much favor in their communities. And so we want to invest, we want to intercede, so we can ultimately continue to make disciples of all nations, what Christ commanded us to do. And so if you want to read a little bit more and hear more about my trip to the Czech Republic, under recent entries on the right side of the web page, you'll find my blogs that I wrote while I was on the trip, and so feel free to read those. At the end of the day, the harvest is ripe, but the laborers are few. The great thing about that is that we've got a laborer. His name is Jarek, and you and I have the opportunity to continue to invest through prayer and finances to ensure that disciples are made in that region of the world. So thanks for listening, and God bless.